Let's look at yet another question in the General Physics Examination Revision questions. Question 11 here says a block of mass, capital M, is hung by ropes as shown. That's in this diagram here. The system is in equilibrium. The point O represents the knot. The junction of the three ropes, the point O represents the knot, the junction of the three ropes. Which of the following statements is true concerning the magnitudes of the three forces in equilibrium? All right. You have A, B, C, D, E. All right. So here basically asking us which of the following statements is true concerning the magnitude of the three forces in equilibrium. How do we solve this question here? So I'm just going to take down solution. So solution to this. Solution. I'll put this way. Okay, let's see this. For this, I'm just going to draw a free body diagram. So I'll just go straight to draw a. I'm calling this FBD. So FBD represents free body diagram. Okay, a free body diagram is simply a diagram that shows all the forces acting on a particle at a particular time. All right. So draw a free body diagram for the, what was the term they used there? For the mass. All right, so for the mass, so a mass M. So for the mass, so we have this. The first thing I want to do here is to try to represent the mass. Let's see this. Okay, I could use here this and this way and this. So you have this. Now from here, I would get my coordinate system. And so you have the mass here. Pointing downward is F3. To the right this way is F1. To the left is F2. So enjoy my free body diagram. Let me just focus more on getting the forces. Okay. We could use here like this. Excuse me. We could do this, and of course we can also do this. All right. So we said pointing downwards. You can see here, downward here is F3. So F3 is going downwards. So coming down like this is F3. Have this, we'll have this. So this is F3. F3 coming down. So we have F3 pointing downwards. Coming back to this, you can see F1 pointing this way here, northeast. So to come here, we'll just put this. So this is F1. So you have F1 this way. The angle here is 30 degrees. So you have this as 30 degrees. Now going this way, northwest this way, this angle here still is 30 degrees, and you have here as F2. So you have this. So basically, here's my diagram from the question. Now, how do we get the magnitude of the forces F1, F2, F3? What do we do? Now, the task here is simple. I'm going to resolve this to the horizontal and vertical components. So here's a question on vectors, all right? Let's resolve these forces to the horizontal and vertical components. Let's start with for horizontal components. So for horizontal components, we have that sigma, that's sum of fx, horizontal component. Fx is horizontal component. It's equal to, for horizontal components, what do I have there? First things first, you have F1. Resolve F1 horizontally. That's moved into the x-axis. This is the positive x region. So I'm having plus, so it becomes the sign there is plus. The force there's F1, it becomes plus F1. F1. And for the angle here, resolving this horizontally, you have cosine of the angle, which is cosine of the angle there is 30. All right. I've explained why if you resolve a force horizontally, it will be cos 30. I've explained why if you resolve a force horizontally, it becomes cosine of the angle in a previous class on vectors. Please check out the previous class. I'll leave a link in the video description, right? All right, let's look at F2. For F2, let's resolve F2 horizontally. If I move this horizontally like this, you can see that this would be in the negative x-axis. You can see. So the sign will be negative for F2. So F2, we have negative. So I'm having minus F2. Again, resolving to horizontal components, you have cosine. So cosine of the angle there is 30. So you have this. All right, so we have this as the horizontal component. For F3, F3 will not have a horizontal component. Why? Because F3 lies perfectly vertical. So you can say this. Since F3 lies perfectly vertical, there will be no horizontal component. All right, so it's just vertical component. Okay, so with that said, we have this. Now, the next thing we want to bring here is that for equilibrium, want to note something? For equilibrium, you have that the sum, the sigma of horizontal components, this should be equal to 0. So for equilibrium, sum of horizontal components is equal to 0. That means all of this should be equal to 0. So we are saying that F1 cos 30, F1 cosine of 30, that was, yep, then minus F2 cosine of 30, it's equal to 0. Obviously, I'll move F2 over to the right hand side. So I'm left with F1, this cosine of 30, it's equal to, if negative F2 moves over to the right hand side, it becomes positive. It becomes positive F2 cos of 30. So we have this. From here, you can see that cos 30 will cancel cos 30, so it's off. And you have that F1 is equal to F2. Let's call this equation 1. So this is what you get from equation 1, that F1 is equal to F2. All right, equation 1 sorted. Let's look at the next thing there. So we got this for horizontal components. Let's get for vertical components. So let's try resolving the vertical components. For vertical components, what do we have? We also have that sigma, that's sum of F and then Y. That's sum of forces in the y-axis or the vertical component. What do we have there? First things first, we want to resolve this way. All right, if I push F1 to the y-axis, this is a positive y. So F1 will come with positive sign. That becomes positive F1. For vertical resolution or the vertical component, it becomes sine of the angle. The angle there is 30. So I have F1 sine 30. For F2, the same thing. If I move F2 to the vertical axis, that's this, is a positive. So I have plus F2, then becomes sine of the angle. The angle there is 30. So I'm having plus F1 sine 30 plus F2 sine 30. Let's take them down. So I have positive F1, so F1 sine of 30 plus F2 sine of 30. So I have this. Also for F3, let's see, you can see that F3 lies perfectly vertical. So there's no need of taking cos or sine, just take the value. That's one. Also, F3 is pointing at the negative y-axis, as you can see. So it becomes negative F3. You don't have to put cos or sine. No, just negative F3. All right. So this becomes minus F3. Let's take the equilibrium condition. So for equilibrium, we have that the sum sigma Fy should be equal to what? 0 for equilibrium. Now, with that being said, we'll have that all of this one here, everything here should be equal to 0. So I have F1 sine of 30 plus F2 sine of 30 minus F3 is equal to 0. That's exactly what you have here, all right? So if you punch sine 30, that's about 1 over 2. So what you have here is f1 into sine 30 is 1 over 2 plus f2 sine 30 is 1 over 2 minus f3 is equal to 0. So we have this. Let's move f3 over to the right hand side. But before we do that, we know that f1 is equal to f2. That is from equation 1. Look at this equation 1. f1 is equal to f2. That means I'll replace f2 with f1. So we'll have that f1, that's this, into 1 over 2 plus f2 is equal to f1. So I'll replace f2 by f1. So plus f1 into 1 over 2, then minus f3. So this minus f3 is equal to 0. Again, if I work on this, f1 times half gives you half of f1 plus the next one here, f1 times 1 gives you another half of f1 minus f3 is equal to 0. Of course, we know that half plus half gives you 1. So half f1 plus half f1 gives you 1 f1. That's literally 1 times f1, which is the same thing as f1. So I'm just going to write f1 straight. So I have this as f1. Then pick up this one here. You got f1 by doing half and half. That gives you f1. Then minus f3. Minus f3, it's equal to 0. From here, we'll move f3 over here. You have that f1, it's equal to minus f3 moves over, becomes positive f3. So if you look at this from, see, let's call this equation 2. Let's call this equation 2. Did I use, let me see what I used here. Okay, I used 1, so I'm just going to use normal 2. Okay, change this to normal 2. So I have this. If I combine 1 and 2, combining equation 1 and equation 2, from 1 you have that f1 is equal to f2, and from equation 2 you have that f1 is equal to f3. So if f1 is equal to f2 and that same f1 is equal to f3, it simply means that f1, this, is equal to f2 and is still equal to f3. So basically, this is what you get when you do that. All right, you have f1 equal to f2 and equal to f3. You have this. All right, so yep, here's your answer. So let's see which option is f1 equal to f2 equal to f3. Let's check out for that option. All right, so from here, right, that's the first option there. Option A, f1 equal to f2 equal to f3. That's the correct answer to this question, right? All right, guys, so you have question 20. It's all right, guys, you have question 12. 12 says a woman stands on a bathroom scale in an elevator that is not moving. The scale reads 500 Newton. The elevator moves the elevator then moves downward at a constant velocity of 5 meters per second. What does the scale read while the elevator descends with constant velocity? You have these options here. Solve this question, leave your answer in the comment section, and I'll tell you if you're correct or not. All right. Okay, guys. So as usual, don't forget to like this video. All right. Give this video a thumbs up. Also leave a comment. For your comment, I asked you a question here. That's question 12. Right. Provide the answer to question 12 in the comment section, and I'll tell you if you're correct or not. Don't forget to also subscribe. If it's your first time here or you're yet to subscribe, please do want to subscribe, hit the bell icon and select all so that you get notified whenever we upload a new content. And finally, do want to share this video to your friends so that they can also learn. Thank you and see you in our next class.